Hi, this is Doctor Who exactly, and I'm in my pantry. I'm probably gonna be here for the rest of the week because, well, you can't be on the internet anymore because spoilers are everywhere. And I figured the best way to stay away from all spoilers would be somewhere where nobody would bother to check where I am, so nobody can send me anything regarding the upcoming episode. Because World Enough in Time has already been spoiled by the BBC itself. Fair enough, I think that they had issues with leaks and somebody must have seen John Sim walking around on the set because, well, wouldn't it have been great if we could have figured this episode out ourselves? Welcome to Doctor Who exactly. World Enough in Time is an excellent slow building episode that gives us a lot of uneasiness and horror, and it's good stuff. And yeah, wasn't this just a blast in certain sense? The moment Missy steps out the TARDIS and she's like, I'm Doctor Who and these are my companions, Fiddly Sticks and Comic Relief. I was great. I was just, quite enjoyable to say the very least. The episode starts off with something that is like a bombshell. I mean, they've teased it before in The Lie of the Land, but here we see the Doctor, the 12th Doctor, seemingly regenerating. But, I'm pretty sure there's gonna have a tail to that because Stephen Moffat likes to play with expectations. You'll remember how The Magician's Apprentice ended. It's gonna be something like that. I'll put money on it. Michelle Gomez is just having a good time, chewing the scenery, being as hammy as she can be. And that's when the actual plot kicks in. I did not expect this to happen. I have seen that Bill was going to be in a hospital setting, but to have her just with a gaping chest wound, I was like, what the actual swear word? How did I get away with that? Which is something that is essentially a kids show. How? Bill is found in a hospital of some sort with a big chest piece, and if you hadn't already known, this would have been great to have people start to go like, hang on, that seems familiar. And the voices that these patients in the hospital have are chilling. The bit where the one is just going pain, pain, oof. It's just, it's the good stuff. It's the good kind of body horror that I really love without going over the top. And the nurse being harsh enough to just, turn the volume off instead of actually doing something for the patient. And this is where Bill befriends Mr. Razor, and kudos to the people that immediately figured it out, but I didn't. I only figured it out like 20 minutes before the ending of the episode. Bill is observing the Doctor through the security cameras, and they play with the time streams a lot, like they're actually watching Doctor Who in the past on a black and white TV, and it's moving at a snail's pace. It seems like jokes making fun of the old format, before the reboot or the relaunch series in the 2000s. And it's all good fun, but Bill's waiting for the Doctor for years, and when the Doctor finally gets to the point that he's going down in the lift, we're already towards the end of the episode. And this is what the entire episode was building up towards, really. it shows us, the first Cybermen as they were in the series. And the first Cyberman we see proper is a cliffhanger of so good. And it's immediately coupled with the Master revealing himself to have been Mr. Razor. And I only figured it out when he sat down like, oh, I have been keeping an eye on you. And the reveal to the Doctor, I'm really going to miss Peter Capaldi, because if there's one thing he does very well, it's the entire what's going on now face. The moment he hears John Sims' voice, it just draws into it, and he's like, and he slowly turns around, eyes wide open, completely aghast, like, no, it couldn't be, but it is. So there's a lot of things I like about this episode. Like I said, it's slow and building up, and I like episodes that give us time to get to the actual meaty goodness. Stephen Moffat does set up excellently. He gives us a lot of internal conflicts, like look at Face the Raven, look at Heaven Sent, that built up so magnificently. Look at Darkwater, look at, well, this is where I'm going to be, a little bit more negative. I always feel that he somewhat fumbles the ball in the last stretch. It's like he sets up all these pawns, like this are the plot threads, and in the end he resolves them very haphazardly, in my own personal opinion. Like the hybrid from last season, or before that, the entirety of the dead people on Earth being turned into Cybermen, and whether or not he is a good man, and that didn't matter in the end, because in the end he saved the world by having somebody who retained his humanity, who wasn't fully cyber converted, kill off all the Cybermen nanites. And like I said, he does the setup extremely well, but by the time he has to resolve the conflict, it usually ends up being just a robot doppelganger. If you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, the Wedding of River Song. So plus points about this episode. Missy. Missy was, Missy's always a laugh. The Cyberman in the hospital. Oh, that's just creepy. John Sims' reveal as Mr. Razor. I hope there's people out there who didn't know he was coming up and they just found out that way for the first time. That's just fantastic. So next episode is the Dr. False, and I just really hope it's going to be, the proper send-off for the 12th Doctor that we deserve, or better yet, that Peter Capaldi deserves. Even though we still have that Christmas episode coming up, so maybe it's not even the end. Maybe it's going to be another cliffhanger until Christmas. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something that Stephen Moffat likes to do? Anyway, if you think I'm a rambling fanboy, which I am, please just, don't bother to subscribe, don't bother to like this video, and don't bother to leave nice comments down below. The comments section is really just, designed to give me verbal abuse. I've got several social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, LinkedIn and Goodreads. I like to say LinkedIn and Goodreads because who hell uses Goodreads nowadays? You know what I miss? I miss GetGlue. So let's make a promise. We'll see each other same place next time, next week. Sayonara. Hello, Stuart.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, lots of things have happened since the last time we spoke, I think.